Hey guys, how's it going? Biohazard Candy Kid here, coming at you with another great video. I hope you guys are having a great day, because I know I am. I'm actually in my car with the door open, so that way, you know, it lets all the breeze in, because it's supposed to be hot today where I am. I want to say a few things, you know. First of all, and this pertains to, you know, automobiles and also auto racing simulators and stuff like that. You know, a lot of you might be watching a lot of these like YouTube channels, or, you know, on TV, or, you know, reading news articles, or, you know, whether it be a newspaper or a magazine or whatever, or just looking up forums or talking to people, you know, out in your area about cars. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, the Japanese didn't build cars by accident. They didn't build, you know, the best cars in the world by accident, okay? The Japanese employed something that they've been employing for the past thousands of years, okay? Which, you know, is something that goes along the same lines as a samurai, which is basically you, how should I say it? Which is basically everything has to be perfect. You must do everything right. There can't be any flaws right at start. So for instance, okay, how come the Mazda Miata is the best roadster in the world? How come? Because what the Japanese did is they looked at every roadster ever built before the Mazda Miata, and they looked at all the flaws. They looked at the reasons why roadsters failed. Now, Japanese, you know, in building the Mazda Miata, you know, did that in 1989, whereas Honda built a roadster in the 60s, the S800, you know, the S models. And they did a really great job with it. So what Mazda did was they learned from, you know, even Honda, which is a Japanese company, and they looked at what they did and they said, ooh, Honda's almost there. So then Mazda said, we got the formula. And look where we are now. The Mazda Miata MX-5, or the Mazda Enyos, is what it's called in other countries, because it's called the Mazda Miata MX-5, at least here in the United States and Canada and Mexico. In other parts of the world, it's called the Mazda Enyos. That car, look where it is today. And look how many clubs there are. Look how many people are racing that car. Look how many video games have that car in it. Look how many movies that car is in. Okay? That is like the most perfect roadster ever built on the planet. It's perfection. They, even in 2005, 2006, when the Mazda Miata got a little bigger, they still didn't screw it up. A lot of people say, don't get these years, don't get those years, because that's where, you know, it's a bit heavy, you know, they kind of, you know, went a different route. No, they didn't. All they did was just increase the size and increase a few things. But then what they do, they went back to the original size of the Miata and original ways of the Miata. You know, of course, now you have the Fiat 125 Spider, which is basically built in the same plant as the Mazda Miata in Japan. That is the Italian equivalent of the Miata. It's longer, it's bigger. They have the Adbroth edition, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, to be real, the Mazda Miata is a lot better. It's a perfect sedan. The only reason why we have the 125 Spider is because Fiat basically said, look, if we're going to have a roadster, we better, you know, go with Mazda as a partner and have them build it for us, and we'll just put the name on it and just come up with our own design. Now, the new Mazda Miata is great. It's a great little car. I've never tested it out, but from what I've heard from a lot of people, whether it be online or, you know, or in a magazine, or just people out in general where I live or wherever I go, they've all said it's a great car. It's like going back to the 90s, you know, 1995. And so, you know, I really can't stress enough that if you want to start modifying a car, if you want to get your first entry-level race car, I would stick with Mazda Miata. I would go with that. Or I would go with a little Honda Civic, you know, 80s, 90s, you know, early 2000s, or even today, you know, 2021, 2015. But really, a Mazda Miata is going to do it. I mean, it's one of the easiest cars to modify, really easy. And you can turbo those cars with a, you know, small single turbo like nothing. And there's a lot of kits for those Mazdas. There's so much to do with the Mazda Miata, it's ridiculous. So, you know, and what does this have to do with video games? Well, with video games, it's the same thing. You know, if you want to get into a good video game, I would start getting into a simulation video game. You know, or get into a video game that at least has a lot of tracks, cars, you know, modification, things to do in it. Don't get, you know, some racing video game that is very limited. I mean, if you want to play Mario Kart or some game like that, then that's fine. That's a different story. You're just out for, you know, the shits and giggles of racing. You know, and just to have something like Mario Kart where you shoot bombs at people, throw bananas and stuff like that. But if you really want to get into, you know, actual driving, racing video games, you want your Gran Turismo, you want your Forza Motorsports, you know, you want, you know, your Assetto Corsa and your R Factor and stuff like that. That's what you want. If not, you're just going to go play, you know, Mario Kart or Donkey Kong Racing. You know, for those of you who remember Donkey Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64. So that's what I'm saying. So it's the same thing. You know, go get your Mazda Miata. It's a very good car. You know, even though Honda makes the best cars in the world, well, I'm sorry, but Mazda makes the best Roadster in the world. And I'm a big Honda fanboy. I like the Honda S2000. I think it's a perfect Roadster, just like the Mazda Miata. But the Mazda Miata sets the standard for what a Roadster should be. It has no flaws. I mean, sure, there are those years that, you know, some of them have this issue, some of them that have that issue. But that is just like with any, you know, car from any manufacturer. You know, that's just rounding out everything. That's just, you know, putting everything in one basket, you know. But as a Roadster itself, ever since, you know, the invention of the Roadster, the Mazda Miata has been the best. Every country, every, you know, manufacturers try a Roadster, try to make the perfect one, and they just couldn't. You know, Mazda did because they employed their samurai ways into the company, and they came out with the perfect Roadster. Without that, they probably would have made a crappy Roadster. Alright, well, this is Biohazard Candy Kid signing out. I'm going to get going here. You guys have a great day. Take care. Hope to see you in the next video. I'm just about to get to work. I'm just doing a bunch of videos before I get in. I was actually like 32 minutes, you know, early and stuff. So, alright. Make the world a better place. Peace. Like, subscribe, share. Take care. Bye.